Today I'll be making tofu jerky for the dehydrator, and the first step is to cut up strips of your tofu, and I've already done 2 blocks of it for you guys so you don't have to sit through that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first marinade, which is a spicy sauce, and I wrote it down because I knew I would forget some of it. So this is the original sauce. It's a barbecue sauce mixed with sriracha. I put a little bit of fructose powder to balance it out. I didn't want it to be all spicy. And then there's a little bit of onion and garlic powder, and also a handful of random spices that I enjoy. So you can kind of mix around, play with it, just add whatever you like personally. So that goes in there. And then I think I decided that I was going to go ahead and add a little bit of coconut milk to that just to kind of mellow it slightly, because I used a lot of chili powder in that thing. So a little bit of coconut, just going to calm it down, make it a little more palatable. And now I'm going to dump in, for marination, a bunch of the tofu strips. And I've cut them to about, I'd say 1/4 inch thickness, I'd guess, anywhere around there. And it's really up to you, however long you want to dehydrate, whatever setting you're going for. It's kind of a trial and error. I didn't use a recipe ever. I kind of just experimented and figured this out myself. So while this is soaking, I'm going to change it out and swap in the second sauce, which is our Thai sauce, which is a nice spicy curry powder, coconut milk, salt, a few other spices. Yeah, there's a nice bulk section curry that I found that has spiciness already in it, and then I put a little bit of turmeric in here, so that's going to get dumped in there. And yes, I've got a few more things to cut. So you want things to be pretty uniform when they're going in the dehydrator, because if you don't have them at a set thickness, they're going to dehydrate unevenly, and you're going to have some things that are crispy and some things that are way undercooked and some things that are, you know, just all over the place basically. So I'm going to try to do this quickly though for you guys. I got my dehydrator about 6 months ago, and I really love it. It's wonderful for just preserving all kinds of fruits and vegetables. You have too much of something, instead of letting it go to waste, which I hate waste. I will just chop it up, stick it in the dehydrator. One of the best accessories that I've gotten myself to go with that would have been my, it's kind of like a mandolin but a cheaper version, vegetable slicer. So it's just plastic and it's about this big, and you just go through it and it can take care of a potato in like 20 seconds, and it really eliminates all of the preparation time, which is wonderful. And you get pretty uniform slices using that. So what I'll do is I will go on a neighborhood walk, and maybe I'll find an apple tree somewhere in like a public park, and I'll just remember it in my head, return there when things are ripening. And that was a terrible one. Put that aside, I'll just snack on it later. So I will remember where different fruit trees are, or my friend will tell me, for example, that they have maybe an avocado. Not that you would dehydrate avocado, but that's just an example of someone offering to hook you up with their excess of whatever it is. And you take them up on that, you go collect your apples, and you stick them in the dehydrator. And you can do basic fruit slices, or you can mix it up. If you put everything in the blender and then you stick it on the tray, you can make your own homemade natural fruit snacks, which I love. It's like a fruit leather. So that's one thing that I like to do. And I'm going to get one more of these going, I think. And it's actually okay as long as you are aware that things are different thicknesses. Maybe you can just take out the things that are ready at a certain point and then return a few hours later and get the rest of them. So I'm not going to stress out about this crappy chop job that I'm doing for you guys, because if I were really trying, it would take forever and nobody wants to see that, I'm sure. So I'm going to let these guys marinate, and I'm going to add a little bit more coconut milk. Finish that off there just to get the liquid level up to the top. And then once again, transfer this out. Grab my next one, and this final batch is a soyaki mix that I made. And it is just a store-bought soyaki. Trader Joe's has it. You can go ahead and look that up. It's like a mix of sesame and teriyaki spices like onion and chili and garlic, and then I blended that with some straight tamari, pineapple juice, and I think that was it for that one because it's already a pretty good seasoned blend. So I've got my final tofu chunks. And I would give this maybe 130 degrees in the dehydrator for a good nearly all day. I would say almost 24 hours. So I'm going to put this in overnight, go hang out with my friends, kind of sleep with the dehydrator on. It's not that big a deal. It's not too far away from me, from the kitchen to my room, but I mean, I'm aware of the noise, but it's kind of soothing. It's just a hum. And then check on it in the morning. Probably won't be done yet, to be honest. But when it is done, it's going to be amazing. I'm not one of those vegans who hates the taste of meat. I actually really like meat. I miss it. I know it's good. I'm not disgusted by it. That's not why I stopped. I stopped for the animals. So this is one of those things that I miss from my childhood. I remember getting beef jerky and turkey jerky, and that really grosses me out now, but it is one of those things that I grew up on. So I thought I would try to make my own version, and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's really inexpensive. These 7 blocks of tofu and all the ingredients I've shared were under $10. So you really can't beat making your own. You get to control exactly what goes in it. You have the pride of making it yourself. And it's pretty much cruelty-free. I mean, as far as I know, no animals died in the making of my curry powder. And some people are kind of against soy. I personally don't eat a lot of it. I don't drink soy milk. I stick to rice milk or almond milk, but for, I don't know, protein reasons, once in a while I will let myself have soy. Mush now. Okay, so I will give this a little bit of oil, and I will let all of these marinate for maybe an hour or so, and I'll flip them around, make sure they're all coated, and then into the dehydrator they go. And some of the pieces may break apart, kind of just happens. You roll with it. It's not going to taste any different, it's just going to be weirdly shaped. So this is coming along really nicely. As you can see, everything is taking on the color and the flavor of the sauce. So I'm just going to keep letting it marinate, and I'm going to reposition stuff from time to time to make sure that everything is submerged for a fair amount of time. And one thing that you can also do is when you put your pieces of tofu onto the dehydrator trays, evenly spaced out with no overlap, when you're done doing that, you can take the remainder of the sauce and just distribute it nicely over the top, and that will be an additional way to get those flavors into the jerky. So I hope you enjoyed this tofu jerky tutorial and plan to make some yourself. It really is a treat. So, oh, and if you do, definitely comment. I want to hear about it. And if you come up with your own recipe, even better. Thanks.